Today, Kyiv witnessed one of the most intense attacks since the start of the war. Over 700 drones and 18 missiles were launched by Russia overnight, targeting Ukraine's capital and surrounding areas. This marks the single largest air assault by Russia to date. In response, Kyiv's air defense systems were activated across the city. 2 civilians were confirmed dead, with several others injured in the strikes. Buildings shook, windows shattered, and thick smoke filled the skies over Ukraine's capital. President Zelensky responded by urging the international community to strengthen sanctions, particularly targeting Russia's oil sector. He also asked for the faster delivery of advanced air defense systems like the Patriot missile system from the West. Meanwhile, NATO forces were on alert as Russian debris was reported near Polish borders. The Kremlin, however, insists that peace talks are still possible. The drone war has escalated dramatically. Russia is believed to be producing Iranian-designed drones at a large scale inside its own territory. Hello everyone, it's me, here with the channel, and we bring you the latest news updates from around the world. Ukraine came under Russia's biggest aerial assault since the invasion, as waves of drones and missiles rained down on the country, forcing Ukrainians to run for cover. Top advisor to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia fired more than 700 drones overnight, most of which were shot down. Moscow also launched cruise missiles at Ukraine from multiple directions. In total, Russia fired 18 intercontinental ballistic missiles and 36 cruise missiles. All of them were intercepted. The mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko, confirmed that 2 people died and several others were injured due to falling debris. As Ukrainians took cover in shelters such as the Kyiv underground metro stations, many parts of the city experienced blackouts after the strikes. Vitaly Klitschko shared a video showing a drone flying dangerously close to a residential building in Kyiv. One resident commented, "Windows were shaking and rattling. There was a strong smell of smoke and a bright flash." Another added, "It was scary. It happened suddenly. We heard a loud bang and the electricity went out." A third wrote, "When will it end? When will we be able to live a normal life again?" Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson Yuri Ignat stated that the Russians used Shahed drones produced by Iran for the attacks. These drones can travel at low altitudes, making them challenging to detect on radar systems. To protect themselves from these threats, Ukrainians have been advised to install anti-drone nets or use Faraday cages to block radio signals. However, Ignat acknowledged that not everyone possesses such devices. He emphasized that, if intercepted, these drones can pose a significant risk due to their small size and low flight altitude. Ignat noted that they do not explode in the air, but can cause damage upon impact. Russia's Ministry of Defense announced earlier today that its air defense systems intercepted 54 drones over the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and Volgograd, a region bordering Ukraine. Additionally, a Ukrainian drone reportedly fell in the Bryansk region, resulting in a power outage. In response to the increased attacks, President Volodymyr Zelensky urged Western allies to bolster their support for Ukraine, particularly by enhancing air defenses. During a late-night address, he emphasized that Ukraine requires modern and powerful air defense systems, including the American Patriot missile system, as well as fighter jets and other essential military equipment. Zelensky expressed confidence that Ukraine can intercept many Russian missiles and drones, but highlighted the need for additional assistance from partners to ensure comprehensive coverage. He called for strengthened sanctions against Russia, particularly those targeting the oil sector, as a means to limit Russia's resources for waging the war. Zelensky asserted that no terror can stop Ukraine and expressed determination to liberate all Ukrainian territories, including Crimea, which Russia annexed in 2014. He affirmed Ukraine's commitment to the long-term struggle against Russian aggression, stating that Ukraine will continue liberating its land and citizens until victory is achieved. Amid the escalating attacks, Russia has reported an incident involving debris from a Ukrainian missile falling near the Russian border, prompting the activation of emergency services. In response, the Kremlin's press secretary Dmitry Peskov stated that the Ukrainian leadership bears full responsibility for the consequences of their actions. He further suggested that Ukraine could potentially face more severe repercussions if such incidents continue. Peskov also mentioned that Russian President Vladimir Putin remains open to holding peace talks with Ukraine, but emphasized that any negotiations must consider the current realities on the ground. He reiterated that Ukraine should acknowledge Russia's territorial gains and expressed confidence that the ongoing Russian special military operation would ultimately succeed. Meanwhile, reports have surfaced indicating that Russian authorities are apprehending individuals sharing footage of the drone attacks on social media. The Ukrainian intelligence agency, the SBU, has claimed that the Russians have been actively detaining civilians in Russian-occupied Crimea for posting videos related to the drone strikes, according to the SBU. The detained individuals face charges of spreading false information and could be imprisoned for up to 6 years. The agency provided the names and photos of 5 Crimean residents who have been taken into custody. As the situation continues to develop, we will continue to keep you updated. Now we go to our New York correspondent Jenny Hill, who is standing by at the UN headquarters. Thank you very much. So Jenny, tell us, how did the United Nations react to this drone attack? Well, that's right. I'm here at the United Nations headquarters, where there was a lot of anxiety ahead of the Security Council meeting. You might remember that last week, the United States requested an emergency meeting to discuss these drone attacks, but Russia, of course, blocked that. But today, the Ukrainian ambassador decided to bypass Russia and speak directly to the pen, and circulated a letter to all member states, calling once again for this emergency meeting. Now, what you're seeing behind me is the result of that. The council chamber was packed. There were representatives from nearly every country, including Russia and Ukraine. Now both sides gave speeches. The Russian representative painted a different picture of events. He said that Russia is not targeting civilian infrastructure, that Russia is not afraid of any sanctions, and that it is Ukraine, not Russia, that is provoking escalation. Then the Ukrainian ambassador spoke. He said that there are constant threats to civilian lives and civilian infrastructure. He also said that there is a constant threat to the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. So he called for calm and called for reason and called on Russia to halt these attacks immediately. Now, at the end of the day, no resolution was adopted because Russia, of course, blocked it. But the Ukrainian ambassador later told me that he was encouraged by the level of support that he felt in the room, and that even countries that traditionally stay silent on this issue, such as China, made statements calling for restraint. Thank you very much for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Many experts believe that Russia's decision to increase the number of attacks is a reaction to Ukraine's recent counteroffensive operations. Some speculate that Russia may be attempting to divert attention away from the battlefield in Zaporizhia. However, the effectiveness of these diversion tactics remains uncertain. Instead, the intensified attacks on Kyiv appear to be causing significant public concern among Ukrainians. Many residents now fear that their cities and towns could become primary targets. Ukraine has previously faced missile attacks, but the recent assaults are unprecedented in terms of scale. These attacks have raised questions about whether Russia's air defense systems have been compromised, leading to concerns that Russia might be prioritizing air defense along the border with Ukraine while neglecting other regions. Russia began producing the Iranian-designed drones within its own territory approximately 3 months ago. Initially, the production process was slow, but according to U.S. officials, Russia has now mastered the technique and has a monthly output of around 1,500 units. An unnamed senior U.S. defense official disclosed that, based on the observed attack patterns, it is estimated that Russia has approximately 500 to 600 of these drones available for immediate use. Ukraine's assessment suggests that Russia possesses an arsenal of around 2,000 drones. These attacks have led to calls for the deployment of the U.S. Patriot missile system in Poland as a precautionary measure. The main purpose of this move would be to deter Russia from targeting Poland, which could potentially lead to direct military confrontation between Russia and NATO. However, Poland has already received Patriot batteries from Germany and the United States following Russia's missile attack last year. Currently, Poland does not formally request the deployment of the Patriots on its eastern border. Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry claims that its air defense systems intercepted 54 drones over the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and Volgograd, a neighboring Russian region. Additionally, a Ukrainian drone reportedly entered the Bryansk region of Russia, causing a power outage in the area. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe for regular updates